Are you ready to be unleashed and unstoppable?
Are you ready to experience a breakthrough and step into your next level of leadership?
Living a life of power, purpose, and possibility on your own terms, unapologetically.
This podcast is for discovering how to play big, how to be unleashed and unstoppable.
Through wiring inner success at the source as you step into your full potential as a wildly ambitious leader.
We are
Alexanne Carter and
Carol Register. We are certified master neurocoaches and the founders of Unleashed and Unstoppable You.
We're best known for being confidence-boosting, neurohacking, productivity, and wealth experts.
And for high-achieving leaders, visionaries, and entrepreneurs.
Now let's be unleashed and unstoppable.
Hello, hello, hello. How are you today? I am excited to be here with you along with Alexanne Carter. And oh boy, do you want to know why goal setting doesn't work? We've got some amazing statistics for you that we're going to share. And in fact, Alexanne, this is her expertise, her specialty, her passion, what she gets so excited about. And Alexanne, why do you get so excited about this? Why are you so passionate about this?
I think it's because we see so many high achievers either burning out trying to achieve their goals or feeling like a failure because they haven't achieved their goals and constantly looking for the next productivity tool and productivity hack to be able to get more done so they can actually achieve their goals. And you and I both know with our expertise in neuroscience and being master neuro coaches that it's not about, right? It's not about the productivity hack. And you know, the amount of goal setting workshops that are out there and the amount of ways that you're being taught to set goals and looking at what's missing, right? The whole neuroscience piece behind how you actually set goals that you can actually achieve. And that it's more than just setting a goal. It's really the intention behind the why and what you're doing. You know, I think many have heard me say this before. Why we do what we do is fueled by why we do it. And a lot of times we see goals as just a glorified to-do list, right? Which we talked about this before. We don't really have to-do lists. We have our impact list, like how we're creating more impact, and making our vision come true and being able to coach and reach more of you. That's what drives our daily actions and decisions, right? And we have the operating system, our brains to support us. So let's dive in, like, to how is it that goal setting doesn't work? And really looking at the fact that only 20% of the population actually sets goals, which I think is fascinating because I think when we think of high achievers, like everyone in our realm and hemisphere is setting goals, right? And of those, the 20% of people that actually set goals, roughly 70% fail to achieve them. So I did the math here, and it turns out that means that only 6% of the people who actually set goals go out and achieve them. So how do you become that 6%, right? And how do you do it without burning out? Because that's what we see. People are burning out before they even achieve their goal because they're relying on hustle. They're relying on resiliency and grinding it out.
And willpower.
Yeah,
that one's a common one. I've got to have willpower to muscle through this. And especially for those of us who think of ourselves as leaders, right? And that statistic really surprised me. And yet in reality, I've experienced that myself with my own past attempts at goal setting that I just struggled through when I had a vision. And what I saw happened was my vision got more cloudy and more cloudy, right? More foggy and chaotic and confused. And where there's confusion, there's failure. End of story, right?
And we actually did a podcast specifically on how to help you gain clarity a couple of weeks ago. So there's 3 ways to help you gain back clarity. And so we definitely want to invite you to go check that out if you are looking for support in getting rid of that cloud. But why, like, what's the number one mistake we see with high achievers? And in terms of when they're set goals, like, what is it that is creating the burnout? What is it that is creating that only 6% are actually achieving the goals that they're supposed to achieve?
Well, what comes to mind immediately is that our brains are actually working to keep us safe, right? I'll just cut
Yeah.
right to the chase. And so it displays in a lot of different ways. And so we set the goal and then we get on the busy bus. We're really procrastinating. That is brain safety, 100%. And then we are also, you know, um, just overworking, getting overtired. We're putting something out here without realizing that we're making daily decisions and operating over 90%, some say as much as 97% of our daily decisions are made from what is operating in our subconscious without our active awareness. Now, you and I know, Alex, when we go to set a goal and take a courageous action, that's when a lot of the doorway to our subconscious opens and we're fired with the negative chatter of, hey, what are you doing there? Why do you think you can get this done?
The inner critic, right?
The
Like the
inner critic.
self-criticism.
Yeah, and then the self-doubt arises, and then when we're trying to push through, outperforming our subconscious, which we can't do. So we get on this start-stop cycle and we get
Distractions appear, right?
frustrated.
We get just
Yeah.
right. We feel like we're being distracted. We feel like things are happening to us. Like, why is all
Yeah.
this happening to us at this moment? Right. We feel like we lack consistency. And then we
Yes.
ultimately
Yeah.
feel like a failure, right? We're just not
It's
achieving
so
those goals.
true. Not reaching them and then you feel guilty, right? You
Yeah.
feel ashamed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, it's more than just the frustration. It's really the self beat up starts. And this whole cycle then repeats. And even on the other side of that, going further on the contrast side of it, what I have experienced, and I know you have too, and what we see in our clients is we start to get momentum. We start to see the vision and want to go for it and start doing things and having breakthroughs and starting to see where we're right here. Things are starting to come towards us, and boom, we are self sabotaging big time. Right.
Yeah.
And we are like, wait, what just happened? Why did that just happen? I can see it. And then it's like, stop, come on, and then we're grasping and we're
But
desperate.
and it feels like you're
Yeah.
chasing. Like, I think
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing, what Carol and I are saying is you
Yeah.
start to feel like you're chasing your goals. You're chasing your
Yeah.
success because what you see or not see is what you don't have, right? And that's
Yeah.
another, I mean, that's part of when we look at what's really standing in the way of a lot of high achievers and being that top 6% is they feel like they're always chasing their goals. And
Yeah.
when we feel like we're always chasing the goals, the result we're going to create from that is always chasing our goals.
Goals.
Right. Our
That's
high
right.
achiever brain is brilliant and beautiful, but one of the biggest things that happens with the high achiever brain is that it likes to dismiss the things that you are doing. And so then you feel like
Yes.
you're like doing all this work, but you have nothing to
Yeah.
show for it. You feel like you aren't making any progress towards your goals. And Carol and I know as coaches, like we see the progress that you make. However, you
Yeah.
as the high achiever, because of your brain and the lens that you're looking at it, it doesn't feel like that. And this is
Yeah.
why we, have built our Restore, Rewire, Renew process in Diamond Transformation to really help break down the blocks and really
Yeah.
break down what's standing in the way of high achievers so that this 6% can become 10%, can become 20%, because it really is the
Right.
brain blocking it and creating
Yeah.
this illusion of needing to chase after, right? Like it's universal law, right? If you feel like
Mm.
you're chasing something, it means that it's running away from you,
It's
right?
running away from you,
Yeah.
and it actually brings in another point because we have just done an episode on chasing that you're gonna hear, and or have they I get lost in our process sometimes of where we recorded, but I know that we're talking about that, talking about how we're repelling what we wanna attract,
Yeah.
and one of the things that comes up when I think about being desperate for something and chasing something that has gotten away in the past, and I want to know if this is true for you, Lou, also, listener, is feeling like you're doing it for everybody else's approval,
Yeah.
feeling like you're seeking the validation. So you've got the goal and you're doing the marching orders, and that's how your brain's perceiving it. It's perceiving it as this heaviness for this acceptance, right?
Yeah.
And this approval.
Well,
And
I was talking to someone this morning, and what he shared was that up until now, he was constantly he was living the vision of his dad, right? And how many other of you listeners like feel like you're living the vision or creating the vision of someone else? Because here's the reality: you're either building your vision or you're building somebody else's vision.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of that leads into kind of what we want to, like how do you shift this, going by goal setting and you're not creating those results and actually creating goals and setting intentions that
creating a
work for you.
vision.
Yeah.
You
and
get to create a vision for
Yeah,
yourself.
that's where it starts, right?
Yeah.
And it's breaking the patterns. It's breaking the
Yeah.
pattern of maybe you've set your vision before, maybe you've set goals before. And the thing is, up until now, you've created this pattern of them not coming to fruition. And that's where Carol and I come in. We're all about breaking those patterns, the patterns that haven't, or they've served you up until now, but they're not serving the vision, not serving where you're going. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And that's what we're about. We're so passionate about breaking that, helping you do something different, something new. And that's why we are bringing at the end of this year in December, our diamond level goal achievement workshop, because we're done with you setting goals year after year. We want you to tap into your brain and finally set yourself up for success. So 2023 gets to be the year. It gets to be the year, right?
It is the year. It's the breakthrough year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The breakthrough year, breakthrough results.
It's so powerful what you're saying too. Is one of the things, like when you set a goal, you may or may not have been successful in your goal setting. Many of you have been, but you're not having the full thriving success.
Success.
It's more of a, it's, do you feel like you're just in survival and not acknowledging, like you were saying, Alex, not celebrating, not taking the time to recognize how much you are doing and producing and creating that vision that's your vision, not living somebody else's plan for your life and not living a life of default. Oh, I want this and I just have to take it as it comes on the way, but instead getting really intentional, knowing what you want and why you want it. And having somebody to walk you through really getting clarity on that and creating a clear picture for your brain is such a beautiful process. I talk a lot, and I think you do as well, Alex Leanne, on the fact that you can take a vision board and make it 3D.
Yeah.
And then your brain goes to work for you. Instead of it about being goals, then it's about getting what you want and you know why you want it and giving you a clear process to, train your brain to get it. And I love that.
And one of the things, like a really massive piece of what's missing to more traditional type goal setting is that, again, goal setting just becomes a glorified to-do list and you end up just doing. And I think we've asked this on the podcast before, like, are you a human being or a human doing? And what's missing is the being piece, right? Like, okay, looking at the vision, what do you want to create? Why do you want to create it? But how do you want to feel in the process? Like when I got asked,
that heart
does my
piece
done success look like and feel like? The question when I got to the feel piece, I remember thinking, that's such a good question. I never thought about it. We get so wrapped up, especially as high achievers, right? Because we do allow a lot of what we do define who we are and our success and how we show up. And again, it's like all the things that we did and achieved. And we can very easily get disconnected with the feeling in the moment. And I know for myself, when I tapped into that and really like thinking about like the relationship I want to develop with my daughter, my husband, my family, like things really shifted. I think I shared
Mm.
earlier about this past
Yeah.
summer, there was many times when I felt like kind of like, oh, we should be doing more because I'm so used to doing things when we, go and visit family. But I
Yeah.
got connected with my intention, and my intention was have connected present time with my loved ones.
Mm.
In those moments when I kept feeling like, oh, we should be doing more, and oh, why did we waste the day? I kept getting grounded back in those moments. And it was like this sense of relief in that moment, the sense that I didn't
Yeah.
have to do all the things, and the
Yeah.
connection and the conversations and the laughter and the joy that was created from being and just enjoying and getting grounded in that. And it hit me.
Yeah.
It just hit me in the moment about how it doesn't always have to be about doing all the things, and that it gets uncomfortable when we're not doing, because we are used to, as high performers, doing a lot of
Yeah.
things. But this is where I love for the listener really to really connect with, again,
Yeah.
the vision, why, and how do you want to feel? How do you want
Yeah.
to feel once
How do you want to feel?
you've
Yeah.
maybe bought the house or upgraded the car or gone that vacation, right? Because it's so easy to get caught up in wanting things. Have you asked yourself how you're going to feel on that vacation, driving that
Yeah.
new car, living in that house?
Yeah. Is it the freedom you want?
Yeah.
Is that why you're doing what you're doing? You know, is it the desire for healthy relationships, the desire for good health? Is it that longing to be able to have some control, some healthy, powerful control over your space? Is it being seen and heard that you really want? What is it that you really are wanting? And I love the way you leaned into that, Alexi, and that connection and the way that you paused yourself and reground. And all along, where we've got beautiful tips and tools, but we're reprogramming. We're
Mhm.
reprogramming the neural networks, the wiring that's laid in that's limiting us and telling us to stay busy, to stay chasing
Yeah.
something, and to be on the path to burnout, right? Get to the point of frustration, overwhelm. We hear that from you all the time. You're constantly popping in and telling us, this is what I'd like to have. I'm so tired of being overwhelmed. I'm so tired of being frustrated. I'm distracted all the time. I'm constantly going for the shiny object syndrome and not getting anything in the process. Right. And so, you know, it goes into you being able to choose your way of being. We've talked about this in past episodes about the be, do, have model rather than the one that we inherit out there. And you can tell me if you relate to this. You have to have things in order to do things, in
Mhm.
order to be somebody. That's communicated in our culture, in our music, in our movies, in our advertising, in our consumption all the time. You have to have this so that you can do this, so that you can be this. And just think right now, ask yourself in right now if you can think of any prominent examples in movies that you're thinking
Mhm.
of,
Yeah.
right? So it's about turning that around and operating from a place of being, because when you're operating from a place of being and then you do things, the have comes rather than
Mm.
chasing after a goal, right?
Yeah. And that's why
Yeah.
we're excited. We're excited about the opportunity to invite you to our workshop. And it's going to take place on December 15th. And it really is about ending the goal setting. And it's all about the goal achievement so that you can be in that 6%, not only just setting the goal, but finally going to 2023 and achieving it from a place of
Yeah.
being, achieving it from
Yeah.
your vision. And so we're going to use a neuroscience backed process, combining our principles of wealth and productivity to
Mhm.
help you set yourself up for success for 2023 and actually become unleashed and unstoppable when it comes to your goals and dreams and your vision.
I know one of the exercises, interactive exercises we're going to do in there is you're going to have the aha moments that you're looking for. You're going to be like, wow, really? And so we are excited to invite you into that so that you can have the freedom and the impact in life that you really want to have.
And bring a friend. We want to invite you to bring a friend, right? Because if you and your friend can show up to this workshop together and then be able to work alongside each other, you've now got added accountability. You can really go into the year together and support each other. And I mean, there's nothing like, right? Was it the birds of feather flock together, something
together?
Like
yeah, that's right.
So bring a friend, share this podcast, share the link to register with every single person. You know, imagine bringing in your friends and family. I know my family shows up to these things because
your team
so powerful. Yeah, your team. A great opportunity to get together the team and plan out, you know, your business year and really lean into that from that place of being. And like I said, it's about setting yourself up for 2023 with goal achievement, right? It's not about goal setting. It's like it's being able to achieve
having what you want.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's right. So
thanks for tuning into another episode. We look forward to seeing you, of course, next week on our workshop. And
you can DM us. You can DM us at unleashed.unstoppable.you on Instagram. We're always checking in there. We love hearing from you. Ask us questions and make sure you subscribe and bring a friend. So look forward to seeing you.
And connect. We want to connect with you on a personal level in the workshop. So we'll see you there. All right.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Unleashed Unstoppable podcast with your hosts, Alexandra Carter and Carol Register.
If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or leave a rating and review and subscribe.
That's all for this episode, Wildly Ambitious Leaders. See you next week.